Another day has arrived, and we are still in the same place of disarray. Hope is in the distance. I can see a tiny glimpse of light, just a tiny, tiny light. It is there, I know it. I can feel it in my heart. I have prayed for it for oh so long. I know that it is coming our way. Tomorrow may not arrive. Yesterday has gone, but this I know. Today is gonna turn out just right. Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our prayers are being answered, so don't despair. Someone we can trust, which has been a long time coming when our hopes were shattered. He is that tiny bright light in the distance. Tomorrow may not arrive. I can feel it in my heart. I have prayed for it for oh so long. I know that it is coming our way. Tomorrow may not arrive. Yesterday has gone, but this I know. Today is gonna turn out just right. Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our prayers are being answered, so don't despair. Someone we can trust, which has been a long time coming when our hopes were shattered. He is that tiny bright light in the distance.
Stupid people should wear signs, neon bright, so we can find a way to dodge their tangled mess, avoid their chaos more, say less. Wear a sign, wear a sign. Save me from your twisted line. Wear a sign, wear a sign. Nada, nada, don't waste your time. Politicians dance and spin, blatant lies with a practiced grin. Blame the moon, blame the stars, blame the traffic or faulty cars. You think they're 6, not 35, playing games to stay.
Wear a sign, wear a sign. Stupid people should wear signs. Courtney, I see you're here. We were missed last night. Welcome back. I suppose I've drilled this weekend, but it's been canceled due to the government shutdown. Yeah, no, I am supposed to go forward with my event this month. I'm sure I will in October. I don't think it'll continue in November, but if it does continue in November, it might become a problem because it's not a question of whether there's money on the contract. The contract that I'm on is like the contract that Amerikaners and the RSC have, where it isn't held to this fiscal year. Their funding is there. They're able to use it. Same with my funding. It's a multi-year funding, so it's already been applied, just not paid. It's sitting there waiting to be used. But the problem isn't that. The problem is flying the general officers who come for this course from all over the world and foreign nationals. And as you get closer to the date, if there's a shutdown and you can't pay for their flights, you can't pay for their TDY, you can't bring them over, then you have to cancel at some point. And yeah, this becomes a problem. So I don't know if it'll go forward in November, which if it doesn't would cost me about $5,000. Well, I don't suck, particularly since I have to pay taxes. But yeah. Anyway, folks, yeah, gosh, thanks for tuning in at this hour. 65 people currently here. My videos, put some good content out there. It's still having a hard time. The one I did on the ANC and Uppington, that's only 33,000. Yeah, Ronaldo got 100,000 in 9 hours. And the one I did earlier today, the EFF land expropriation, that one's surprising me. It's at 11,700. I thought it would do better. Usually EFF videos. Anyway, well, I've angered the beast of YouTube, and their algorithm doesn't like me, so I got that. That wear a sign video is only 1,300. That really kills the algorithm when you put something like that up. But, it's not about the views. It's about getting the word out there. But it is hard to do when they hold you back. This friend of mine said he was going to show me a magic trick on 3. Okay, interesting. Okay. All right, so let me say hello to some folks before we get going here. Something's such a waste of time. What was that? WhatsApp groups. Yeah, guys, look, I don't understand the fascination with WhatsApp groups. First off, it's a very small audience. You can't have more than 1,024 people in a group. You can have a channel, but you can't have more than 1,024 people in a group. So it's rather limited. And if people are allowed to comment in there, it'll turn into what social media becomes, a cesspool, a dirty diaper, a dirty nappy. And that's what they become. That's why the refugee groups that I started are limited. You can't comment. It's only a place to get links and get news updates. That's it. That's it. And if you don't like it, then you don't go there. And it's a news alert thing is what it is really about what's going on with the process. I did a short earlier today. I think some people are misinterpreting what I said. So I was forwarded voice messages from people who are posting things. And they appear to be South Africans who, I don't have facts, just based on what's said in the conversations. They appear to be South Africans who have immigrated to America or live in America or have permanent residency or something like that. In other words, they came here. And they seem to be pretty ill-informed and not understanding how life works. So they're saying really what I think are stupid things and have unrealistic expectations. Not the refugees that are complaining. It's these people who say they're trying to help refugees. These sound like a bunch of Karens to me, actually. I don't know who the people are, so I'm not attacking them. I'm not identifying where it came from. I'm just telling you what I listened to. And comments like, well, these refugees, I didn't want to help because I didn't want it to become a thing where I had to do it all the time. Okay, well, we know where your head is right there, okay? So I got you. So you don't really want to help. You just want attention. Okay, number one. Number two, the person said, let me just make sure the sound's coming out good. The person said, that sound is really good. Okay, not my voice, but the sound quality. It's the microphone. It's a sexy microphone. Anyway, I should get some sound effects like to make me sound like a Knight Rider or something like that, or a TIE fighter, against the evil Empire. Red later. This is Red 2. Luke, go down the pipe. Something like that. No, but they're saying things like, I can't believe they were promised the world. Nobody promised these people anything. If you make a claim that you were promised something as a refugee, you're a liar. You weren't promised anything. You're not owed anything. And I haven't heard refugees say this. I've heard some refugees act like that, but I haven't heard them say that. But this is people who are ostensibly trying to help the refugees. And they say really stupid things like, oh, I can't believe it. They came here and these people don't have a job. They didn't immigrate here, dingbat. They came here as refugees. The typical stereotype of refugee is some tall, skinny, starving black dude from Sudan or Somalia who comes over here, looks like they're dying of starvation or marrying their brother and becoming congresswoman. That's another story. Coming here and then, going someplace where they don't speak the language and struggling and trying to figure it out and get acclimated to America because they got fucked up cultural mores and they come to our country. That's the typical image of a refugee, the stereotype that people have. Not a South African who can speak the language and comes here and has job skills and can make a resume on their own and can find work within a period of time. Refugees don't have jobs when they get here. It's rare. So, I can't believe we had to buy them toilet. You don't have to buy anybody toilet paper. I challenge somebody to tell me the family that came over here that didn't have toilet paper in the temporary residence they were at when they arrived. Please, call me, send me a message, tell me, speak to me. We don't have to go on air, just tell me so we can speak one-on-one. I want to know who the refugees are, came over here, couldn't find a way to wipe their bum. Show me, tell me. Couldn't find deodorant. Of course, some refugees don't know what deodorant is, but that's another story. So yes, please, that's what that video was all about. It's beyond annoying what people are doing. It's really annoying. By the way, I sent that short to some U.S. government officials, and they got a kick out of the video. Anyway. Because I can't believe the stupidity that's being passed around out there. So, expat family Joubert, welcome to you. Madeline Swart, Dogzilla's back in from Seattle. Who else we got there? Jeremy. Dogzilla, did you come back for more civics lessons? Who else? Mandy, welcome to you. Phoenix Karen Liebenbag, welcome to you. Xavier Grayling is back. One of the coolest names, man. Xavier Grayling. Yeah. It's like Stephanie Hatzamichael. Where is Stephanie? I love that username. Husky7. Okay, AJ Quinn. Courtney's back. J9. Malcolm Cloten. Malcolm, how you doing, man? How's the boat? Are you still living in poo water in the Durban Bay? Sorry, not you, but the water. It's we know how the sewage system is handled in KwaZulu-Natal. It isn't one. People just take a crap in the river and it all floats down to the ocean and washes up on the lovely beaches of Durban. Have you been on the beaches of Durban? Ugh, what's happened to that country? 787 Dreamliner is back. Are you working on the 787? I know I've asked this question before, but I love the 787 Dreamliner. One of my favorite commercial aircraft to fly on. I just love it. I love it. I love it. Why do people argue about in these whatever chats? People are desperate, Dogzilla. You don't seem to understand the psyche that's going on here. People are desperate to escape after having been shot, stabbed, robbed, having your wife raped, having your brother-in-law murdered in front of you in a car as you're being carjacked. People are desperate to get out, and they glom onto anything that looks hopeful. And that's unfortunate. All they need to do is pay attention to what's happening here, or maybe even listen to Professor G. But don't listen to all the stray noise. It's a shame. It's a shame, but people are desperate. That's you have to understand what's going on. Plus, there's a lot of cockprodders in the Afrikaner community. Sorry, that's a statement of fact. If you're an Afrikaner and you're honest, I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. Ronnie now has a full-scale replica statue of Paul Kruger from Church Square. It's a replica. Okay, people were talking about they're taking the statue there and putting it there, so I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, guys, I don't know if I'm allowed to share the email because I didn't ask because I was so touched by it. But let me get through this, and I've got in here, I put in DJ Go-Go Great Hangover. Interesting name, but I'm going to come back to that story. Just remind me shortly, okay? A-Team is stupid. Well, I left Kamala Harris off of there. She didn't make it on there, and someone else didn't make it on. Should have made it on. That's what I was hoping for, but he always says, okay. Mr. QB, welcome back. Phoenix. Gina Moorman, hello to you. Michael Byrne, good evening. Odin's Vikings, Peter Talyard, hello. Okay. Good morning. And Jaretha Haman. Welcome, Jaretha. Good to see you there. I only know one person named Jaretha other than you, unless you're the same person. Mental Chewing Gum, Karen Long, Rebecca Bloodcup. I missed all you guys. It went too fast. Conrad. Welcome, Conrad. Francis Ruiz. Philip Holtz. Cherry, baby. Sorry, that's I'm delving into modern talking. You're my heart. You're my soul. I keep it shining everywhere. Watch that terrible caterwauling and get me a copyright strike from YouTube. Phoenix said, worry sometimes these people will cost this program. Nah, don't worry about that. That isn't going to happen. Working on a ranch, just like the plane a lot. Oh, yeah, cool. Wish I continued with my commercial flying license many years ago to fly one. Yeah, it would have been cool. Working on a ranch. Oh, cool. Out west. I just was on a bunch of ranches out there. It's nice to see. Reno Fest. CB is back. CB's an OG. One of the originals. So is Vilma. Way back in the day. They have been here forever. Yep. Conrad, welcome to again. And then Debaram, another OG hiding out there, slipping in. Got the universe. That means that Debaram has been one of the paying subscribers to this channel for the longest, along with CB. And I'm very grateful for you guys. Anna Kruger, welcome to you, Anna. It's good to see you again. And who else have we got there? I think I've caught most. Emerencia, I missed you. My apologies. Yeah, thank you for the song. I do so enjoy it. Yeah, I love that song. Cherry, Cherry, Baby. Ah, gotta love Modern Talking. They were so cool. Da 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 da. Deep in my heart, there's a fire burning star. God, those were the days. The 80s were so great, man. So great. Best decade ever. Oh my gosh. That's all right. We're going to have a musical interlude at just this very moment. By the way, the National Hockey League started the season. Two things today. The 7th of October is the anniversary of the terror, murder, assault of Christians, Jews, Muslims, Buddhists, and atheists in Israel a couple years ago. Hamas started a terror war, and the world has forgotten about it and thought that it's just Jews. It's okay to kill Jews in their minds, so they don't care. But they forgot everyone was killed, and it's not right to kill anyone by terrorists. 1,200 murdered, hundreds more wounded, defigured, dismembered, horribly scarred by the events, and hundreds of soldiers, young conscripts, murdered in the most vicious fashion. That was 2 years ago. But more brighter news, today is the start of the National Hockey League season, and the Avalanche are playing right now against the Los Angeles Kings, two top-notch squads. But this just begs for a Suno moment, so I've got to get to Suno here very quickly. Come on, Suno, come up, baby. Here we go. Yes. What was I looking for? I wanted to play something. Go to my library. There's my library. Oh, Faithful Sign of the Times. That's not so special. Come on, what song wanted to do? Oh, gosh, I just have a blank. What did I want to play? I was just talking about something else. Getting old here. Somebody at the Durham Beach with their kitties, ignorant of how contaminated. Yeah, exactly. Ugh. It is very nasty. Very nasty out there. So many more in Durham. Okay. Oh, the 1980s. That's what I want to do. That's what came back to me. Thank you, Courtney McBride. I love the 80s, man. The Tubes. Oh, yes. Step right up. Yep, what a great song. You will not believe your eyes. You can step inside another world. You get to talk to a pretty girl. She's one in a million. Don't fall in love. She's a beauty. That's a great song, man. Tubes, what a great song. All right, so that's not what I'm looking for, though. Come on, where are you hiding at? Where are you hiding at? I know it's before this. Come on, let's see. One of these we thought was okay. Still looking. Come on. There it is. Okay. Best decade ever. That's right. Here you go. The 1980s. New wave. Pop. Michael Jackson. Shaka Khan. Synth pop music. Alphaville. Big in Japan. Scorpions.
Neon light. Protests rising in the night. Mullets flying, Walkman on. Life was grand, life was strong. The best decade ever.
Gold. Spandau Ballet.
New wave beats, we never stop. Dancing under a synth pop top. Denim jackets, acid wash dreams. Living life like
Hands down the best decade ever, the 1980s, folks. Listen, if you didn't come of age in the 1980s, you missed out in life. I know people in the 60s, 70s think it was wonderful. Maybe some people in the 90s, but the best decade ever, clearly the 80s. It was when innocence was lost. I came into the 1980s in high school. I left the 1980s in the workforce. In between, I graduated high school. I went to university. I left university. I went and fought the Cold War in the Army. I came back to university. I graduated and went back into the workforce. And the music, the clothing, the hairstyles, the lifestyle, the shopping culture, the power of America is the boldest, strongest country in the world, coming out of the doldrums at the beginning of the decade to rule over the world and force the end of communism, well, at least communism that we knew it, in the Soviet Union. It was hands down the best decade ever. The acts, I think someone mentioned a few months ago, Walkmans, skateboards, bad haircuts. Yeah, it was something else. It was something else. It was incredible. Who said Depeche Mode, REO Speedwagon, Bryan Adams, OMD, Laura Branigan, Sheryl Crow, OMD. I don't know that Sheryl Crow was around the 80s. Europe, yes. The list goes on and on. Sandra, Opus, Live is Life, Rago Monotones, there's just the British bands, like the Tubes. You had Modern Talking in Germany. You also had, who's the other one I'm trying to think of? You also had Aha in Norway. You had Lamal, just so many amazing acts. Madness was huge back then. Our house in the middle of our street. Our mum, she's so house proud. Nothing ever gets the best of her. She's usually quite proud. Yes, wow, and we're usually quite loud. Madness. Oh man, what a just unbelievable flock of seagulls. Oh my goodness, it was the Clash. Man, oh man, oh man, what an incredible time. And just the politics, the life, things were clear. It was miserable for people behind the Iron Curtain and the developing world. I get that, but it was such a great time. The Walkman, I had Walkmans. Yeah, I had so many different Walkmans. Blood Cup, I even bought one that was a CD Walkman when they came out. That was a dumb idea. Not for me, but for them to make it. But the cassette ones were fantastic. The sound was just incredible. I mean, they were really good. Unfortunately, I broke a lot of them because I used to exercise in them. Yeah, so I loved my Walkmans. Flyers open Thursday against Panthers. Mike, okay. Vegas Golden Knights and Utah Mammoth open up. Tonight's the Avalanche. That's three of the teams I support right there. Absolutely. Columbus Blue Jackets being another one. So, yeah. Now that Marc-Andre Fleury is retired, I'm not supporting the Minnesota Wild anymore. I briefly supported them in their hideous team colors. Marc-Andre Fleury announced his retirement last year. One of the greatest goalies in the history of the National Hockey League. An absolutely fantastic player, nicknamed Flower. Courtney, thank you for your super chat. Falco, oh, thank you, Falco. Simple Minds, Alphaville. I said Alphaville. Depeche Mode was mentioned. Yeah, Falco. How can I remember Falco? What a tragedy when he died at the age of 40. Drove his tiny little Suzuki SUV into a bus in Costa Rica. Horrible. So Marc-Andre Fleury announced his retirement last season, retired from the National Hockey League with the second highest number of victories for a goalie, second most number of games played, and the second highest number of minutes played, 60,669 or 668 hours of hockey on the ice in regular season play, and I think and playoffs too. Won 3 Stanley Cups, or 2 Stanley Cups. Unbelievable. Marc-Andre Fleury just missed out another one because the Vegas Golden Knights betrayed him and traded him off, unfortunately, to Chicago before they won their Stanley Cup. It took them to the Stanley Cup in their first season. So went to 4 Stanley Cups, if I'm not mistaken, and won 2. Marc-Andre Fleury, a fantastic player, a great guy, wonderful guy from Canada. Love the Quebecois accent. Marc-Andre Fleury, whom I followed around from a team that I despise, the Pittsburgh Penguins. I detest the Pittsburgh Penguins with a passion I reserve for the New England Patriots and for the EFF. Well, maybe not that strong. But Marc-Andre Fleury, when he left the Penguins, it was much easier for me to follow him around, especially went to the Vegas Golden Knights. My team, I loved it. In their inaugural season, just as amazing. Finally won a Venezia trophy, long overdue. Should have won it 2 or 3, 4 times. But Marc-Andre Fleury announced his retirement. He retired, but then the Pittsburgh Penguins, in a true sign of class, offered him a contract in September 12th. He signed a contract and came back and played in the exhibition game on the 27th of September, practiced with the team for a couple weeks, and entered the game in the third period. He faced 8 shots, and they weren't Mickey Mouse shots pretending to challenge him. These were real shots on goal. He stopped 8 shots, and the crowd roared and cheered for him at Pittsburgh at the PPL State Arena there. And then they had this mock shootout after the game because it was be his final time. He stopped the first 2 shots. The third shot, the guy beat him. And that was it. So Marc-Andre Fleury goes out a winner, plays in the pregame exhibition season, and that's it. He leaves the league as he came into it over 20 years ago as a Pittsburgh Penguin. Congratulations to Marc-Andre Fleury, to his 3 wonderful kids and his wife. It was heartbreaking for me watching the video, even though it happened on the 27th. I didn't get a chance to watch it until tonight. I watched it earlier and got very emotional watching it. And I have no dog in the fight, just a huge fan of Marc-Andre Fleury. Yeah, so cool. REO Speedwagon, yeah, but they really started in the 70s. And Courtney says he loved going shopping malls. Remember America's Best Decade. It's such a patriotic decade. Oh, it was. It was. Amanda Lowe, welcome to. Well, gosh, Courtney, at this point, I wish I was born 1982. I probably wouldn't have the zip problem. People in public talking and believing the nonsense get notification from the day that several Durban beaches have been closed due to water quality. I wonder if they'll fix it before December holiday. I don't know. 80s, we had no PC nor cell phone, but we got the work done. We worked hard and played hard. Great times. Well, I had a PC in the 1980s, but not till the later 80s. But no, I didn't have a cell phone till the early 1990s. Yeah, OMD, The Clash. Yeah, The Clash. Rock the Casbah. Sharif don't like it. Thinks it's not kosher. Big country. In a big country. Yeah, that's right. Yep. The Proclaimers. Yeah. And yeah, and it was interesting. Journey. Oh, Journey. Sex Pistols before that, but yeah, Journey, what an incredible band. Steve Perry, something else. About why, I had one for years. Okay. Falco, okay. Charles Van Altson, the voice of reasons here. Del Marie Mostart. Laura Branigan didn't get acknowledged. Oh, I loved Laura Branigan. She was my chica, man. I loved her. I danced and wiggled these hips so many thousands of times to, man, that's, her song was so amazing. Yeah, not Gloria. I didn't really care for Gloria. That was kind of annoying. Oh, man. Laura Branigan. Yeah, she died way too young. That was such a shame. Laura Branigan, yeah. When did she die? It's been a long time now. She died in 2004. Yeah, that was horrible. Really, really terrible stuff. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a really shame. It's funny because her biography, they lead with Gloria as if she was 52 years old when she died. My goodness. Wow. Wow, just, man. Yeah, Gloria came out in 82, but that's not the song that she was most famous for. Oh, the night. Yeah, that's right. Self-control. You take my self-control. Courtney, USPS and Sears were thriving days. Yeah, both were. Yep. Self-control. What an incredible song, man. 1983. 84, Self-Control came out, Came out in 84. Some person thought it was 82. Yeah, man, that was her song. She died at the age of 52. What a sad story. She died in her sleep in her lodge in New York on August 26, 2004, age 52. It was a cause attributed to a previously undiagnosed cerebral aneurysm. It's reported that she had been experiencing persistent headaches for several weeks before death because the aneurysm was going to burst. She was cremated and ashes were scattered over Long Island Sound. Yeah, what a sad story. Laura Branigan was awesome. Yeah, she didn't get the credit she deserved. She was very talented and quite the performer. And yeah, Self-Control. I love that song, man. Oh, well, I can't forget ABBA. But ABBA was done by the 80s. ABBA's last big album was The Visitor in 1982 when I was in college. And that was it. They broke up after The Visitor. ABBA was a 70s band from 1972 or thereabouts when they went to the Eurovision and won the Eurovision. Was it 72 or 73? Then the Arrival was their huge album, came out with that picture of them on the cover, the LP cover, remember those days, in a helicopter, Arrival. Now, ABBA is my all-time favorite band. You cannot argue with me. You will not win an argument. You cannot tell me they're the all-time best-selling band in the history of music. They are absolutely amazing. I love the fact that they did this little AI thing to bring them back. I just wish they would have come back and performed together, but they just refused to do it. None of them passed, fortunately. They're all in their 70s and approaching 80s now, but they were just ABBA was just the best. They sang in Spanish, French, German, Swedish, English, unbelievable, and they were really good in all of that. Oh, she came to Cape Town, okay. I didn't know that, Del Marie. The Cure, yeah, there you go. Chris de Burgh, yeah, Chris de Burgh was kind of big in the 80s. Elton John was big in the 80s, yeah. Well, Born in the USA is a song that I detest, Husky. A lot of Americans, especially conservatives, are hoodwinked by it. It's Bruce Springsteen is an American-hating scumbag, and the song was about hating America. It just didn't like it. It didn't like it. We all listened to it at the time, but we were hoodwinked. But I began listening to lyrics and listening to what he's actually saying, and he hates America. It's not an anthem. It's not a pro-American anthem. It's an anti-American anthem. And I don't like Bruce Springsteen. He's a scumbag. CIA used music to influence the Soviet Union. They tried. Yep. Smokey Robinson. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Treat Her Like a Lady. I remember when that came out, man. Oh, that was so good. Oh, my goodness. Treat Her Like a Lady. The Temptations. Oh, my goodness. That was so good. So good. What a great song that was. Yeah, Treat Her Like a Lady. It came out like 1986, if I remember correctly. Most of people are very young. Talking about the 80s, very young? No, we're not very young. We're not old, but we're not very young. Oh, my goodness. Temptations in the 80s, man. Still getting it. Oh, I love that song, man. John Cougar Mellencamp, yeah, he's a controversial guy too, but he has some decent songs. You're lucky to see Madness, The Cure, UB40. My goodness, Sushi and the Banshees. My goodness, you saw a lot of stuff, Karen. I didn't see any of those groups. Yeah, was in my 20s. Wow. Anna Kruger says, yeah. Treat Her Like a Lady. Temptations, man. Temptations. Yeah, that's right, Vilma. We were all that age. Billy Ocean, yeah. Caribbean Queen. Michael Jackson was incredibly talented. He's also a wackadoodle. It's a shame he's gone. Prince is gone. All these great talents. Whitney Houston. It's just wow. Yeah. Anyway, Mariah came later. I believe the first band in Russia post Iron was Metallica. By the way, Iron Maiden's lead singer sang the national anthem tonight at the Los Angeles Kings and Colorado Avalanche game, which is underway right now. I was watching it before this. Pet Shop Boys, yeah. In a West End town and Dead End Girls, East End Boys and West End Girls. And, of course, Dead or Alive. You spin me right round like a record. Oh, well, the song from Berlin for Top Gun is timeless. Oh, man. That is, oof. That song, Take My Breath Away. That is like one of the all-time classic songs, Take My Breath Away. Love that. Thompson Twins, yeah. Thompson Twins were great, yep. Hold Me Now. Yeah, George Michael was great, yep, in there. Yeah, Laura Branigan was fantastic, Del Marie, yeah. Yeah, Berlin, yeah, you guys are hitting them all, yeah. And the one I always loved is Boy Meets Girl. I love Boy Meets Girl. They have one song. They're still around. They're married, by the way. Boy Meets Girl. They had one song, man. Waiting for Star to Fall. That is such an incredible song. Such an incredible song. I just love that song. Waiting for a Star to Fall. Such a cool song. Carry your heart into my arms, right where you belong. Yeah, no, those are just great performers. Yeah, it was fantastic. And then along the way, we had some crazy stuff. We had, woodpeckers in space back then. Kaja Gugu, Too Shy to Shy. Oh, man, remember that. Oh, boy. And then, who's the British group? Can't think of the name right now. That's a million British groups. I know that doesn't really help you. Oh, gosh. They were huge. Anyway, they'll come to me a little bit later. I didn't know Mixed Emotions. Metallica, wow. Boy George. Boy George was actually very talented back then, yep. And, yep, Chameleon. Murray Head. One Night in Bangkok and the World's Your Oyster. I finished reading Bill O'Reilly's recent book that just came out about evil earlier. And next up on my agenda is Mark Levin's latest on power. A little thin one, so I should be able to get through that pretty quickly. Mark Levin's book on power will be next, talking about politics. But about evil, the Bill O'Reilly book was pretty good. And in the end, he actually quotes Murray Head at the end, about, with a stranger, you don't know who's walking next to you. So, yeah, we mentioned Depeche Mode, Daisy. Yep. Depeche Mode was fine. I wasn't a huge fan. Gosh. Oh, it's in my head right now. The song. I'm trying to get the lyrics in my head right now. That song. Working in a store. Then I met you. You picked me up. You threw me out and turned me around. Turning in with someone new. Don't you want me? You know I won't believe it. Don't you want me? Yeah, that's the song. Those guys. They had several songs too. Don't you want me? Human League. That's what I'm trying to think of. Human League. Good Lord. I'm not a Kenny Loggins fan. Never really liked him. Yeah, the Vangelis. Yeah, Vangelis had some big songs. The Who, of course, were huge. And the Queen, of course. Queen, yeah. Yeah, Harold Faltermeyer. He also did, he did the song for Eddie Murphy on his song. Yeah, Culture Club. We said that. Do you ever read the book People of the Lie? No, I don't know that. GFP 70 Rand says, I see there were a lot of aspired U.S. senior citizens here. I'm not a senior citizen. I'm not even eligible for Social Security, but thank you for the 70 Rand. I'm not even eligible for Medicaid or Medicare or Social Security. I'm not old enough for that, so I'm not an old fart, despite Ronaldo's false claims. Yeah. Bill O'Reilly is very tall. I think he's like 6'5", 6'6". He's a tall guy. Yep. Gloria. I was not a fan of Gloria Estefan, the Miami Sound Machine. Yeah, there were one or two songs that they had were pretty good. But Gloria Estefan's interesting. But Human League, yeah, Don't You Want Me? 1982, Human League. Yeah. Yeah, don't forget we had the clubhouse bands too, Gonna Trust the Rains Down in Africa. Yeah. Those guys were fantastic. Hear the sun echo on the wind. I Trust the Rains Down in Africa. Those guys were fantastic. Toto. Yeah, Toto also had some other big songs. They were really big. Yep. Toto. Man, let's see. Are they still around? Toto is an American rock band formed in Los Angeles in 1977. They combined elements of pop rock, funk, hard rock, R&B, soul, and jazz. 14 studio albums with 50 million records sold worldwide. Wow. Wow. That's quite a bit. A lot of brothers involved here. Jeff Porcaro, Steve Porcaro, Mike Porcaro. Yeah, they had some big hits. And not just, yeah. Geez, that's, where's it at here? Rosanna. Oh, yeah, Rosanna. That song, Rosanna, was about Rosanna Arquette, the actress. Rosanna. God, I love that song. Wham. Oh, yeah, Wham was fantastic with George Michael and his buddy there. I love that. Wake me up before you go. What a great song. National Guard arrives in Illinois. Chicago mayor declares war on Trump. Chicago mayor declares war on Trump. The racist Brandon Johnson declares war on Donald Trump. Well, arrest him. That's insurrection. Go arrest him. The 80 subs has me hooked. I'm not a fan of the police. I never really liked the police. I wasn't a big fan of the Cars either. I listened to it, but it really didn't do much for me. Yep. Mr. QB was born in 81. So you're still getting up there. Yeah, Toto, Charles. Toto was fantastic, man. Got your email. I know, Helen, I saw your email to me. I think it was an email, or was it a WhatsApp? You sent me something. I don't always respond, folks. I mean, I've got to get through so many things. Oh, so that gets me. Let me get back to the, so I mentioned this earlier. I promised to get back to it. Seems like a form of depression. Who's depressed, man? Who's depressed, Holden Caulfield? Why are you depressed? No one's depressed. These are exciting things to talk about. I did want to talk about this mail message that I got, and I read it. I think it was from earlier today, and it just I was teary-eyed. So I'm not going to mention who the person is or what's going on, but this is not a person, to my knowledge, that that is looking. Hang on. That's not the one. That's not the one I'm looking for. Here it is. Yeah, this is not a person who's looking for the refugee program. This is just a person who watches the program. And they said, just to say thank you, I don't think you could grasp the entirety of how profound your influence is to strangers whom you've never met. I don't want to infringe on your limited time, but in order for you to understand my thank you, I need to give you some background. And she talks about her son who has challenges and the very difficult times and dark times that her son went through. and how he became injured at work and had surgery. And then he was really down and depressed, and she was very concerned about his safety. And then she heard me mention making songs on Suno. And she said, well, let me try. So she went to her son and suggested he try Suno. And he created a couple YouTube channels, and he's got a channel called DJ Go-Go Great Hangover. DJ Go-Go Great Hangover. And he only has a few subscribers. I think I'm subscriber number 5. I'm not saying you should go subscribe to him, but I mean, I couldn't help but do it. And I went, he wrote a song about his sister. It's about big bums. He did it. It's pretty funny. So he says, you see, Colonel, without me listening to your lives, would never have thought of Suno on my own. You indirectly helped me pull my son out of his darkness. I don't have any adequate way to express to you how thankful I am that you're in this world, making even unknowingly a difference in this world. You're truly a beacon of hope. That touched my heart. Thank you very much for that. I even get kind of teary-eyed now. It was really special to receive that. I get a lot of messages like that. I don't read all of them. I don't share all that. There was a lot more in that email. That's why I'm a little choked up right now, because I know more than you do, and it's kind of emotional. That stuff makes it all worthwhile, folks. It really makes it all worthwhile. The hundreds, if not thousands of people have told me that I've made a difference in their lives, and that's very humbling. I know I've made a difference in people's lives through my actions in life, setting example for others, leading by example, treating people fairly and justly, working in the intelligence community, saving lives, writing for the President of the United States, saving 640,000 people from starving to death in Africa. I know I've made a difference, but those 640,000 people don't know who I am. They'll never, ever know who I am or that they're alive because the actions that I took over the objections of the Central Intelligence Agency. They'll never know that. And that's fine. I'm not looking for fame, but these emails are very touching, folks, when they send it to me. Arctic says a lot of folks share that sentiment about you, and I would too, but I drink Schuss beer and support Western Province. Oh, Arctic. I didn't even know you were here. So Helen Troy says, yes, you have. Always being truthful and bringing people to the ground when lies are all around. Yeah, the world is full of lies and cheats and liars and scumbags, and it's really heartbreaking, folks. And I learned it the personal way. I mean, it cost me a fortune last year running for the state legislature. Well, it's a fortune to me. I don't know if it's a fortune to some of you, but $22,000 of my life savings was a lot of money to me. It cleaned out one of my bank accounts, cleaned out my savings, and I'm still recovering from that expenditure. Let's be quiet, Charles. The Sharks suck. Starting to never know when the Sharks sneak for a 5-pointer. Yeah, the Sharks who played a turgid game in a 17-7 draw this past weekend. Okay, the Stormers won a second game by thrashing an opponent at home. But yeah, it makes up for all the slander, the lies, the attacks I get from people. No, look, if you've met me and you know me, you know that I treat people fairly, and I don't try to embarrass anybody personally, intentionally. I don't cheat people. I'm the silly kind of person that if I found money on the street, I'd look around and see if it belonged to somebody. If I couldn't find somebody, I'd put it in my pocket. But I'm going to look around and see if it belongs to somebody first. Not all heroes wear capes. Well, thank you, Leslie. That's very kind of you. Clouds are gathering. You've done great from what you've done for South Africa people alone. Incredible. Thank you, Del Marie. Well, but I mean, the OGs like Arctic, Courtney is becoming an OG. He's been around a long time. He's an OG too. He's been around a long time. Erica, Hendo, Charles Van Onselen, Vilma. And I know I'm missing people that are here that are OGs, but and I apologize for that. But they've been here the whole time, and I've been consistent, haven't I? The only thing that I'm not consistent is I don't constantly rant. There was a time after the election in 2020 that for a few months I ranted on a lot of broadcasts. I don't do that much anymore. No heroes drink Schuss beer either. Well, you keep it up, Arctic, and I'm going to go crack a Weizen open and get myself a can of Coke, and have a beer. Yeah, not all idiots wear signs. Wear a sign, wear a sign. I love that song. That song is just too good, man. It's too good. I'm telling you. It's so cute. I told the engine, the generator, that I wanted something that was upbeat, and I gave it a couple more keywords that I wanted it to be, and that's what came out. Wear a sign, wear a sign. It's just too good, man. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Good stuff, man. Wear a sign, wear a sign. I didn't even mark which one it is, which is the good one. So you guys heard the one version. Here's the other version. Let me see if this is the other version.
Stupid people.
This is the other version.
Wear signs.
Yeah.
Neon bright so we can find a way to dodge their tangled mess, avoid their chaos more, say less. Wear a sign, wear a sign, save me from your twisted line. Wear a sign, not a metal, don't waste your time. Politicians dance and spin.
I like the other version better.
Blatant lies with a practice scream. Blame the moon, blame the stars, blame the traffic or faulty cars. You think they're 6, not 35, playing games to stay alive. Save me from your twisted line. Wear a sign, not an adult, don't waste your time.
Courtney's leaving because we're not talking about the 80s anymore. Have a good night, Courtney. This song is only 1:44. Patience, young man.
It's hard being rich, don't you see? You're living in your fantasy.
There you go. By the way, folks, give it up for Courtney. He's in a very good place in life right now. Not that he was in a bad place before, but he's in a very good place for life. I could see it. He basically had a coat hanger in his mouth. So excited about his life, where he's at in his life, what he's going on in it. So congratulations to Courtney. It was wonderful to see you so happy. Everybody should be that happy in life. And I know why you become happy, and I congratulate you on that. Katie, welcome. Thank you for hyping that video. Fonz, I don't take kindly to my sharks being slanted. Well, you can't take action against content creator, Fonz. The only action you can take is leave the stream. Weirdest link in Afrikaans. Colonel, all we can do is smile and wave, yeah. That's why I like the second version better, Arctic. Arctic is in a cheeky, combative mood tonight. Somebody give him a scotch. You got any Highland Park there on the shelf for this young man? Anyway, getting a new girlfriend. I didn't say anything about him getting a new girlfriend. It's a lot more than getting a girlfriend, Arctic. You're just making an assumption that's partially correct. It's not that. That's only a smart part of it. There's a change in his life that's been for the better, and it's private, so I'm not going to share it. But unless Courtney wants to share it, I'm not going to share it. But he is very happy, and he's in a good place. It was great to see. Lone Star Beer. Oh God, that's piss water. Ugh. Where's the Axe song? What's the Axe? I don't know what Axe is, Reno Faster. Doesn't septum count as a sign? What your background used to look like in 2020 and your long beard. Yes, Utopi. I think you've been here a long time too. That's right. Yeah, my beard used to come way down. Dolly Parton says, yeah, I've got that. Actually, I had a bunch of stories here if anybody wants to hang around for some news. And that's one of them. I'll jump to the Dolly Parton story. Dolly Parton apparently is in very bad shape. Worse than it was let on. The 79-year-old country musician legend, Dolly Parton, is in bad shape. Her sister is asking for prayers. She had a show, I think in Vegas or somewhere, that was canceled. And she said, I'm not well. And apparently it's much worse than we've been led to believe. And she may not be with us much longer. Dolly Parton's sister asked for prayers from the music icon amid mystery health battle. Dolly Parton's family is asking fans to send love and prayers as country music legend deals with a mysterious health issue. 1 week after she postponed 6 shows for upcoming live in Las Vegas show, her younger sister, Frida Parton, shared an update on the 79-year-old icon's condition, requested support from fans around the world. Last night, I was up all night praying for my sister Dolly, says Frida, 68, on Facebook. Many of you know she has been feeling her best lately. I truly believe in the power of prayer, and I've been led to ask the world that loves her to for prayer warriors and pray with me. She's strong, she's loved, and all the prayers being lifted for her. I know in her heart she's going to be just fine. Well, I hope so. But it was announced on September 20th she would be postponed Las Vegas residency, scheduled from December 4th to December 13th. Far off in the distance, so clearly this isn't simply a flu or something like that. If she's talking about canceling something that's going to happen in December, already in September. Yeah, wow. Wow, health challenges. So I don't know what the health challenges are for Dolly Parton, but that's a shame to hear. And here's what her sister posted. Yes. Dolly Parton shared that news directly with fans on Instagram, explaining that she'd been facing health issues required to undergo several medical procedures. Yeah. I want the fans and public to hear directly from me that unfortunately I will need to postpone my upcoming Vegas concerts. As many of you know, I've been dealing with some health challenges. My doctors tell me that I must have a few procedures. In her signature style, she joked that it felt like her 100,000-mile checkup, clarifying it wasn't her usual trip to see her plastic surgeon. Dolly Parton. You can't help but love Dolly Parton. She's entertaining. Yeah, I hope that she comes through this okay. 79. Gosh, can you believe it? Dolly Parton is 79 years old now. It's unbelievable. There's a photograph of her in 1981 here. She is in 1981. Wow. With Stella Parton in 1981. Wow. There she is. 1981 as well. With her sister. Wow. Yeah. She's another hero without a cape. Yeah, Dolly Parton's done some amazing things for people she's never met. Yeah. She's used her fame well. And she's entertaining. Yeah, but that voice, that southern accent, boy, man. Miley Cyrus's godmother. That I didn't know, but that makes sense. A proper girl makes Courtney a happy boy. Yeah, Lone Star Beer. Okay. I would take her over AOC. Yeah, true. Colonel Man in the Mirror. Okay, see you later, Xavier. Yeah, she was still touring at 79, yes, but she just postponed it, Stephen Northkia. Yeah. Well, not touring, doing shows in Vegas. A lot easier doing Vegas because you've got a huge, ritzy apartment you can hang out in, and you just go down and do 1 or 2 shows a night, and it's usually short. So when I was in Vegas in 1997, Tom Jones was there, and he was playing at the MGM Grand. I think I paid $55 for a 34-minute show, and I got hit in the head with panties. Sitting in the front row with my friend from the counterintelligence course, we flew up to Vegas. We stayed in Circus Circus. What a shit hotel. Oh, it was terrible. But we stayed in Circus Circus. We walked down the strip. It was hot, even though it was wintertime. And we walked down, and then when we saw that Tom Jones was playing, I'm like, hey, let's watch Tom Jones. It's not unusual to be loved by an A1. Anyway, so we went. Tom Jones was amazing. He was in his 50s then. He could still swivel the hips and had the tight jeans on like leather pants. And we sat in the front row, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, what the hell? So one of his panties hit me in the ear. I picked them up and threw them on the stage for Tom. Don't worry, they were fresh panties. They were fresh out of the bag. They had not been worn. Yeah, Dollywood. Yeah, she has Dollywood in the near Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Oh man, yeah, Tom Jones, man, that was a great concert. It was 34 minutes, but it was a great concert. Delilah. Oh, I played Delilah too. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So this is what I want to start the story with. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump's mass criminal alien invasion deportation process is going well. It's going well. All right. Good night, Anna. Yeah, people don't realize how well it's gone. Yeah, she does miss Kenny Roger. He was a great guy. He didn't look good at the end. How do you know they were fresh? Well, Arctic, we'll just leave it at that. They weren't stretched. Trump's mass deportation effort removed staggering number of criminal alien invaders from the U.S. in his first year, and it's just beginning. Donald Trump's deportation agenda is on pace to get rid of 2 million illegal aliens in 2025. Officials say it's just beginning. Around 493,000 criminals have been deported since Trump took office in January, and another 1.6 million have self-deported. We have reduced the number of people in this country suckling off our school system and invading our neighborhoods and crushing our healthcare system by 2 million illegal aliens. Goodbye. Don't let the door hit you in your ample cheating bums on the way out. Wow. Georgia was unforgettable. I will never forget it. It was incredible. 34 minutes. I mean, I didn't even feel cheated. It was over $1 a minute to listen to him sing. Yeah, Philip, I love it too. Trump and Christie Noma are responsible for having jump-started an agency that was vilified and barred from doing its job for the last 4 years, said spokesman Tricia McLaughlin. Another 457,000 illegal immigrants have been arrested by ICE since January. Yeah, so wow. Illegal aliens are hearing a message to leave now or face the consequences. The final year of Biden's presidency saw just 271,000 removed, which was an increase from 142 in 2023. On the other side of the border, federal agents have only apprehended 238,000 migrants trying illegally to get into America. That's a 55-year low. But still, we've captured 238,000 criminals trying to invade our country. And people act like it's not an invasion. While they watch mosque go up around them, while they watch people speak Spanish everywhere around them, and while they watch their schools forced to hire teachers who speak Spanish because they're being invaded. I'm sorry. How do you not see that as invasion? Arctic, you need to let go. You're a little too focused on the panties and the Tom Jones concert. Man, oh man. Over 60% of the apprehensions at the Mexican border happened during Biden's final 3 months in office. President Trump was overwhelmingly delivered on his promise to secure our southern border. As a result, Americans are safer. Unvetted illegal aliens. Finally, somebody's using a term, criminal alien invaders. That's what they call them. They're calling them criminal illegal aliens, which is what they are. Finally, somebody using similar language to what I've been saying all along. And dangerous drugs are no longer pouring over our border unchecked. Yep. And for all the Democrats who claimed it was impossible to secure the border, that they need a new policy, turns out all we needed was a real president. Officials surrounding the president have noted the Trump administration has achieved its goals despite the courts getting in the way, and the numbers come as the White House faces another legal battle over its efforts to deploy the National Guard to the war zone of Chicago. Judge April Perry set a midnight Wednesday deadline for a response from the federal government and scheduled a Thursday hearing in the lawsuit filed Monday. In the meantime, Perry has opted not to temporarily block the deployment, paving the way for Trump to send as many as 200 Texas National Guard troops overnight to Chicago. Yep. All right, man. Trump is kicking them out. And the left is losing it. Heard the mayor of Chicago complain yesterday about National Guard being deployed. Yeah, he can cry all he wants. That racist piece of human sludge can run his mouth all he wants. Let's go, Brandon. Let's get out of office. They weren't stretch panties. You'll play whack-a-mole with Dogzilla. Dan Bailey's in from Wyoming. What's going on, man? Wyoming, how America used to be. Well, anti-Israeli protesters, anti-Semites exercising their free speech, chanted anti-Semitic slogan from the river to the sea in New York on the 2-year anniversary of the slaughter of innocents by terrorists. Hundreds of anti-Israeli protesters, also known as scumbag, repulsive human beings, converged in Manhattan Tuesday, screaming anti-Semitic slogan from the river to sea and wielding vile signs on the 2nd anniversary of the gruesome murder of over 1,200 people. The kippah wearing demonstrators waved Palestinian flags and bellowed chants of "It is the right to resist. Israel does not exist." Many carried signs that read, "Long live the Intifada." As the UN is meeting, Gaza is bleeding. Well, I call for the deportation or imprisonment of all the criminals who have outstanding warrants that are standing on the streets. You know there's a bunch of them that are criminals. Not all of them. There's obviously some law-abiding citizens there. But I guarantee you that if we stopped every one of those people, we'd probably turn out about 10 to 15% wanted felons. You want to bet? Yep. Only 8 million by 2028, and that's not acceptable. Well, I agree. It needs to be a lot more. That's what I said. I think the pace is too slow. We should have already deported 4 million by now. We need to deport 4 million per year just to get back to where we were before Biden was here. Yep. Well, it's not the only way to make USA great again. The way to make USA great again is to eliminate the demon rats in Congress who are anti-American scumbags. Yeah, paid protesters, idiots. Stop World War III. Stupid people. Oh, here, it all started on October 7th. She lines through it and says it all started in 1947 or 48. No, it didn't. Bunch of nonsense. A flirty migrant tried to sweet talk Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem when he got arrested. I did my trip just in time. I had a foot of snow in that portion in a portion of the park. Yeah, no, Dan, I know. I could feel it in the air. I mean, you know, people say you're crazy. No, I could feel it in the air. It was changing from the time I got to Twin Falls and then the time I went to Salt Lake and I went up past Bear Lake, went to Afton. I could feel it changing in Afton already. Going through Yellowstone, I sensed that snow was just days away. Yeah, no, the timing is perfect. Timing is perfect. I didn't have to go. It was beautiful weather. There's some rain, but I didn't have to deal with any snow. Yep. Passing Lone Star Bearded Dogzilla. An illegal immigrant who was trying to sweet talk Kristi Noem while he was under arrest was instead hit with a harsh warning that he would never be allowed back in the country. Secretary of Homeland Security got confused when the migrant spoke to her in Spanish, the illegal alien. He said, "La he mirado en la tele." which translates roughly to, I've seen you on television. But she misinterpreted it and instead thought he was asking her to be let out as he sat in the back of an ICE car. Let you out? No, not let you out. You're under arrest. I would pay to see that video. Her message was translated to Spanish as Noam continued to rant against the man and his brother, who were both placed under arrest for being in the United States illegally. When a video of the interaction was shared on X, it is on X, by Nick Storter, it was inundated with messages from Spanish speakers to explain that Noam has been mistaken, that the man was actually trying to sweet talk her. He was actually saying, "I seen her on TV, let me stay." He was starstruck. That's why I was smiling at first. Okay, yeah, here, let's watch the interaction. Here you go. This is Nick. Nick, don't hit me with a copyright strike, man. I'm sharing. People should go check out Nick's order, okay? Here you go.
La he mirado en la tele. La he mirado.
Let you out?
Yeah.
No, not let you out. You're under arrest. You're under arrest. Are you here in the United States illegally?
¿Estás aquí ilegalmente? ¿Tiene papeles para estar?
That's a criminal charge in this country, to be here illegally.
¿Sí o no? ¿Tiene papeles?
Is that your brother? Yes? Yes? What's his name?
Is it just me, or is this guy butt ugly, man? Is he butt ugly, or is it just me? Am I being mean? I can't afford to buy gold. It's $4,000. That is priceless, man. That is priceless. Yeah, he was so in love with her. She misunderstood. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, Del Marie, there are over 30 million criminal alien invaders in this country. People say, Chris, you're full of it. You know what you're talking about. No, in the 1990s, in the early 90s, they were talking about 10 million illegals. That number has just grown exponentially. Over 14 million criminals were allowed in this country by the Biden regime. That's the conservative estimate. People have admitted, even the New York Slimes and Washington Post, as many as 10 million came in during the Biden years illegally. Yeah, it's not just me, Dan, thinking he's ugly. Yeah. Oh, no, we are under invasion. This country has been given away by leftist liberals who are destroying it. And people are popping up in their little communities demanding that we listen to Sharia law, that we listen to their towers and minarets squealing in the middle of the night 5 times a day. No. Oh, Dogzilla's going to start calling me a hateful dude. Yeah, I know. Here he comes. Yeah, no, we this country was invaded. They gave away our sovereignty that we fought for. We fought world wars. We fought a civil war to keep this union together. We fought against the British for independence twice. We defeated fascism. We defeated communism. We defeated polio. We defeated so many evils in this world, only for these scumbags to give our country away to people. Oh, they're just migrants. Bullshit. They're criminal alien invaders. Oh, they just want a better life. Then go fix their broke-ass countries. I worked hard for this country to be something. These shitheads gave it away. Devoted my life to protecting people's freedoms, only to see scumbags give it to people. I mean, this superintendent in Iowa, in charge of 30,000 students, carrying a loaded firearm in a government vehicle to work every day, and $3,000 cash hidden in his car. Illegal alien. Deported, arrested for drug distribution, drug dealing. Kicked out of the country, came back. And these morons hired him because he's black? Please. Please. We defeated communism. It was always here because we taught. It's a challenge with a democracy and a free society. You're always under assault because you're open to ideas and you let people speak and express themselves freely. Fascist dictatorships have a way of ending that. Or if you're a pseudo-fascist dictatorship like the UK, you just intimidate and frighten people with jail, lock a few innocent people up, and the rest behave. News Now UK, I don't know what that is. We fought for our rights too, and we're forced to give it away to the current mob. Well, Rudolph, that's true. That's true. Phoenix and a celebrity makeover. What are you talking about, Arctic? Had the friendliest Somali Uber driver in Salt Lake City today. Couldn't drive for shit or speak English. Yeah, it's frustrating. Where was I at recently? I was somewhere and I couldn't understand a single word anybody said. Now, if I don't understand a word that somebody's saying and I speak 6 languages, the problem isn't me. The problem isn't me. I'm not a bigot. I'm not demanding. I'm not an American who refuses to learn about the world. I speak 6 freaking languages. And if I can't understand somebody that's driving public transportation or that's providing service in an organization like a medical facility, there's a problem. There's a problem. Learn English or get the hell out. No, communism was always there too, Arctic. America was built on immigration. We need workers. These folks are generally great people. No, they're not. No, they're not. If they're great people, we'll have this conversation, Dogzilla story. If they were great people, they would have presented themselves to the border. Buenos dias, senor. I am Juan Valdez, a coffee grower from Colombia. Here is my passport. Let me give you my passport. I would like to enter your country. What's your business here? Well, I want to immigrate here. But you don't have an immigrant visa. Well, I know. I just coming this time to check it out and see if it's really the place for me. I'll be leaving after a month. I'm staying in Salt Lake and in Twin Falls and in Seattle. I'm visiting Dogzilla. Yes. Do you know Dogzilla? Everybody knows Dogzilla. I, Juan Valdez, a humble coffee bean grower from Colombia. I know Dogzilla. That's what good people do. They don't slip through the dark of night, throw their passports away in the bushes, swim across the Rio Grande and invade our country, steal Social Security numbers, drive down wages, invade our schools, bring pathogens like tuberculosis and hepatitis and measles and chickenpox and mumps and rubella and inflict our population because they entered our country illegally. They're not good people. They're criminals. Criminals, Dogzilla. Criminals. Good people enter your border legitimately. They respect your sovereignty. When these shitheads come into this country and disrespect our sovereignty, which we fought for, we bled for, we gave lives for our sovereignty. We earned our sovereignty. We kept our union together. It cost us 700,000 dead Americans. And these shitheads just walk across our border like they own it. Get the fuck out. How's that for a response? That's right. Thank you, Delafin. Based. And it was a mini rave. That's correct. Stop yelling at my phone. Dogzilla's sitting next to you. Oh, stop picking on Dogzilla. All right. No, Juan Valdez. No, Dogzilla. I'm not upset. Dude, you don't get it. You haven't been here long enough. You're just a rookie. You're still wet behind the ears. Got that milk dripping from your ears. Dogzilla, I'm not upset. It's called fire for effect. People that don't get that, it's comical. I mean, the people just don't get it. I guess you're accustomed to people who lose their crap. When I'm angry, you'll know it. When I'm angry, you'll know it. Can somebody give me an amen on that? When I'm angry, you'll know it. Fact, isn't it? And one time I've really been angry and gone off and meant it. And that was when that woman was murdered with her child in Chicago in broad daylight in 2020 during the Summer of Love. And that's it. That's 2 times. I apologize. 2 times I've gone off. When the shitball down under called me an e-beggar after I spent $7,000 of my money to go to South Africa to meet with people, to answer their questions and do meet and greets and make a trip back to South Africa in 2022. Ronaldo had me on a show for Wednesdays with Colonel when I was in Mossel Bay. I called in and I lost my crap then. That's still on Ronaldo's channel. You want to hear some expletive-laden video? Watch that. Watch that. Yeah, Artie says, even I run when Chris is pissed off. I mean, I trip over my whiskey bottles a few times, but I get up and keep crawling. No, Dogzilla, I'm not upset, dude. It was fire for effect. That's because I know people steal my content. They violate copyright and they use my content. They put on TikTok. I mean, I'm still getting messages from people today thanking me, not bad things, but thanking me for my TikTok videos. because it's helped them with RefD. I'm like, I don't do TikTok videos anymore. I haven't done a TikTok video since like February because TikTok is an evil platform that censors me as well. I mean, I was getting millions of views in weeks on TikTok, and then suddenly I got nothing. My number of followers stayed locked at 12,400 for 2 years. That's bullshit. I should have lost people or gained people. And so you get no reward in TikTok until it becomes an American company and the algorithm is altered. I'm not really putting, but people see me on TikTok as people steal my content. They put on TikTok when I'm talking about the RefG program. So it's for effect, Dogzilla. Dude, chill. It's for effect, not upset. Sloth Puppy, there's an OG. Welcome back to you, man. George says, I don't understand how people can be so naive. I don't either, man. It's like they didn't go to school. They weren't taught critical thinking. Chris is nowhere near angry. He can really lay it on. Oh, yes, I can. Arctic's stupid CIA and their personal expense policy. What are you not getting reimbursed, Arctic? Are you working for the CIA now? You'll know when Chris is angry. Yeah, exactly, CB. That's right. You'll know when I'm angry. And twice for sure I've been really angry. Thank you, Francis. You've said it correctly. I'm passionate. I'm passionate about most things I do. I'm passionate about my hockey. I'm passionate about my rugby. I used to be passionate about baseball and football, but not anymore. And I'm passionate about people. I'm passionate about right, moral, and just. Pretoria, but that was just as a group in the corner spoke over you. Yeah, upset and angry are different. I was annoyed. I think, Mr. QB, I think the term for that was I was annoyed. You know, I come all this way, all these people come to listen and talk, and people got to talk in the corner. It's very disrespectful. And they were people that came to listen, not people that were in the restaurant just to be in the restaurant. I had no right to ask them to shut up. Yeah. People from Kenya, Ghana, Malawi, Mozambique, Zimbabwe come to work on the farm. They have no papers, 98%, 2% words, yes and no. Exactly. Oh, no, they didn't give you the $7,000 back for the trip, and all you delivered was a drunk pilot who came in legally. That's true. Yeah, but I got Droevos. Like, Arctic turned me on to Droevos. You know, for 30 years, I turned my nose up at Droevos. I'm like, that looks fatty. And then he gave me some, and I had an obligation because he gave it to me. I'm like, I can't say no. He gave it to me. Thank you. I went back. I'm like, I'm hungry. Let me eat this. Damn, that's good. Damn, that's good. Working retail store and two people come in, probably around 70 years old. They couldn't speak a word of English. Spent 20 minutes finding someone who could talk to them. Line backed up out the door. Well, that's crazy. Kicked them out of the line. I was annoyed when the Bush administration flew the bin Laden family out of Florida in September 2012. They didn't do that. That's a fairy tale. I don't know where you got that story from. I love watching for the effects of passion, the action, the ranting. Just entertaining. All right, so McDonald's is pissing people off. Well, I've been saying I quit eating McDonald's. Now, I ate a couple times on the road here in out west because my first stop for food was actually in Idaho before I turned off to go east towards Haley and Sun Valley. I stopped at McDonald's off the interstate in Idaho after I left Boise because I had to get something because I didn't know if there's going to be food out there on the road. So I got some there, but I generally don't go to McDonald's because it's just too expensive. It's ridiculous. So one person, I go to McDonald's, it cost me $20. Now, I did eat at McDonald's several times when I was in England because everything is just off the charts expensive. The only place I found affordable in England, ironically, is a place I never eat at, and that was Taco Bell. I ate at Taco Bell in the UK. It was actually pretty good. I hadn't eaten Taco Bell in decades because it's disgusting. But it was pretty good in the UK, and it was affordable. I mean, you get a taco for like £1 something. It was like, wow. So I could eat at Taco Bell for less than £10, and that's a good deal. McDonald's cost me usually over £10 or thereabouts, $15, $20. It's almost like the States, but South Africa's affordable. But McDonald's is pissing people off. Their Egg McMuffin is now $7.75. These people are insane. McDonald's fans warn the chain is pricing itself into bankruptcy as soaring costs for Egg McMuffin leaves them floored. The price of an Egg McMuffin has skyrocketed to $7.75. The steep price is just for the breakfast sandwich alone. A McMuffin meal is $8.29. Recent pricing was exposed by customer ordering food on McDonald's app in New Orleans. McDonald's were the only breakfast items to carry a shocking price. McMuffins weren't the only. The sausage, egg, and cheese bagel alone was $8.75. When the Egg McMuffin was first introduced in 1975, it was 63 cents, which today would be $3.79. So with inflation adjusted, if the price hadn't changed, you would be paying $3.79 for a McMuffin. Instead, they're charging you $7.75, over 225% more than it should cost. Yep. Proud to say I've never had American McDonald's. Doctor said it's the only way to keep good health. You don't have to eat Taco Bell. We will give you laxatives at CVS. There's no CVS in the UK. Sorry. McDonald's is gross, even more because of Ramaphosa shares. Mickey D's in South is really bad and expensive. At least Burger King is a soda fountain. Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. It's $7.75 for an Egg McMuffin, and it's disgusting. This is what you get. This is what you get for $7.75. Look at that disgusting, horrible-looking piece of food. Ugh. Yep. Reddit users have slammed McDonald's for the hefty prices, saying the fast food chain has priced themselves into bankruptcy. Never in my 28 years of being alive would I expect to pay $8 for McDonald's Eggy biscuit, said a Reddit poster. Is this an airport or something? Exactly. There's like airport prices. Some customers turn to their own kitchen to beat the inflated prices. I've been making my own, not quite the same. A patron in New York said they paid $12 for a sausage, egg, and cheese on muffin, hash brown, and large diet soda. It's cheaper for me to get a deli sandwich and soda, and it's a way better sandwich. In August, McDonald's loyalists complained on social media that they didn't edit this very well after claiming the chain's famous $5 meal jumped in price in some locations, costing $7. Yeah, they offered a $5 special meal and they actually charged $7 for it in a lot of places. Fans became frustrated as prices crept up, with one Reddit user saying, "I stopped going to McDonald's for a couple of years because of the prices, but the $5 meal seemed fair." Well, a couple weeks ago it became $6, and today it's $7.40. Yeah, in less than a month. I'm done. In 2023, McDonald's was slammed for charging $18 for a Big Mac meal. Yep. Diner Sam Lerner wrote, this was at a rest stop, but these McDonald's prices are nuts, right? He shared an image of a McMenu which showed a Big Mac meal, $17.59. The average price of that meal in the U.S. is $8.64, and one McDonald's is charging $17.59. Now, screw McDonald's. Screw McDonald's. They've ruined their brand. And they're not alone. Screw most of them. It's outrageous. Wendy's wants $8 for a sandwich too. Screw Wendy's. Burger King wants $8. In the UK, they want £10 for a frickin' Big Whopper. Screw them. $14 for a frickin' burger? You can shove it up your rectum. I'm not going to eat that swill. No way. Can only afford McDonald's and Denny's on the US, trained every day, and within 2 weeks picked up 4 kgs. Well, wow, CB. Okay, yeah, but you're kind of skinny now. Maybe you can pick up a few kgs. I would do the Costco 150 hot dog. Yes, and Costco was holding the line on their nitrate-infused death sentence. The Costco hot dog is still $1.50. Worked at McDonald's when I was in England, but don't... What's that? You didn't eat from there, okay. McDonald's doesn't sell crabs. I'm being bankrupted by the crabs I'm buying anyway. Rudolph says all businesses are chasing profit. They're not chasing profits. They're gouging people. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. How is Buckeyes? I have no idea what Buckeyes are. You mean the nut that falls out of a tree? You don't eat Buckeyes. Costco $3 hot dog. Wait a second. I thought it was $1.50 for the hot dog. I thought they held the price. The story I read about it said they were holding the price. I never eat it, so I wouldn't know. And my Costco is 50 kilometers away. It's too freaking far. I don't go there. I rarely go to Costco here. I've actually been to Costco more in Idaho and in the UK than I have in Pennsylvania. I've been to Costco here in, gosh, it's been at least a year. And last time I was there, all I did was buy petrol. Yeah. So we've got Costco, BJ's, and Sam's Club. The one I go to the least is Sam's Club and Costco. BJ's is closer, but now they've moved it away from me, so I'm not even going there anymore. Turkey, $7 per pound. Yeah, I heard you say that, Holden, but that's no. That will be an average price. Some people will be able to get it cheaper. You know, we have poultry farms around here. You can get turkey cheaper than that. But there's a problem. The Biden administration slaughtered 20 million birds. They killed all our birds, and they crushed our egg supply. They crushed our meat supply, and we're living with the consequences of that. It'll take 2 or 3 years to recoup the execution of 20 million egg-laying birds. So that's why turkey's so expensive. Not because we're being gouged, because there's going to be a shortage of turkey because they killed all the birds off because of the fake bird flu scam that the Biden regime did to cripple our economy. This is all a conspiracy. These scumbags killed all these birds in a fake bird flu thing that never occurred because a few birds got in a couple places, and they falsely claimed. So they just slaughtered all these birds, and now we're still trying to recover from it. That's why eggs, when Trump came into office, were like, $7 a dozen. It's ridiculous. Napoleon Dynamite. I haven't seen Napoleon in a while either. I hadn't thought about that, Mad Max. Well, it's actually not cheaper and healthier to eat at home, Angelique. It depends on whether you got somebody who knows how to cook. If you have someone who doesn't know how to cook and they cook fat, greasy food all the time, it's not healthier to eat at home. Everything, it comes on how things are done. You can eat out at restaurants and eat healthy if you're smart, you know, and you can eat affordable in certain places. Just depends. My phone died. My dog wants his ball. Welcome back, Christopher. Maggie Groves. Hi, everyone. I'm late, but burgers here in South Africa are so dry. Third printed turkey. Yeah, 3D printed turkey, right, Holden? That's a good point. Eggs are still expensive. I don't know. Let's see what the average price of eggs are. I don't buy eggs very often. Average price of dozen eggs but you can't just say an average price because you've got brown eggs, you've got white eggs, you know, large eggs, small eggs. They're saying that this is April, so this is old. It's come down since then. It was $4.69 in January. So even when it was $7 everywhere else, we were only paying $4.69. But I'm used to paying $1.69 for a dozen eggs. So yeah, no, it's all a ripoff. So I bought chicken and a biscuit. That's these little treats, these cracker treats flavored treats that they sell. And they had a 20-ounce box and this like 12-ounce box. The 12-ounce box is $4. That's insane. That used to be $1.69 just a couple years ago. The 20-ounce box was always $4 or $3 or $4. They are selling it now for $7. So if you buy two or more, you get it for $3.99. You get the box that's twice as big. So I bought 2 big boxes for $4 a piece, $8. It's ridiculous. $7 per 18 eggs. Well, that's about the same price as $4.69, but that's January's prices. That's not the current prices. So anyway. We don't have a parliament, Sandra. We have Congress. And Congress, it isn't a question of opening parliament. No, we got to be clear about terminology. Our parliament is open. Our Congress is open. Members of the House and the Senate are in session. They haven't voted on a budget deal. That's the problem. I'm not a beef fan, Rudolph. You have to understand that things that happen in our life stay with us for a long time. So in the 1980s, I was in the Army in Germany, and the Department of Agriculture buys excess beef and food and cheese and grains and stores it. And then they give it over to welfare cheese and stuff like that, or they just destroy it later on. So they had a surplus of beef that they had to get rid of, but it was crappy beef. They paid these shitty farmers for their poor quality beef and probably range-free garbage. It was stringy and meaty and fatty. So they shipped it to the troops in Germany, and they distributed it in our commissaries, and you used your ration card. You could come and get free beef. So I went and got the free beef and free ground beef. I got a whole bunch of it. I mean, as much as I was allowed to have, because I was young and didn't make much money, and I put it in my refrigerator, and it was the most disgusting experience I ever had in my life. The meat was like chewing on shoe leather. It was disgusting, and it turned me off of beef. And as a consequence, I rarely eat beef. That was in 1985. They ruined my desire for beef. So I've been mostly a poultry person ever since then. I will eat beef on rare occasions, but it's rare. I've had beef in Botswana, very good beef. I've had Argentinian beef, it's very good. But I don't eat beef by and large because it's disgusting. That's the memory I have of beef. Yep. I want to buy eggs, not shares. Yeah, Woolies is a little pricey. Wonder what happened to the turkey market in South Africa. It went away, Del Marie. Turkey, there were turkey farms in KZN. They're gone. You used to be able to see them on the highway driving down, the motorway driving down to Durban on the left-hand side. They're just gone. I don't know about all the poultry farms, but turkey I don't know what happened. Yep. COVID wiped them out. Yeah, Rudolph, I don't enjoy beef. Nothing against it, I just don't enjoy it. You're right, Rudolph. It should be the right cuts of beef, but I was poor. I couldn't afford good quality beef. I couldn't buy the stuff. No, I do not eat mutton. No, I will not go near it. No, Stephen Orkey, I will not eat sheep. It's disgusting. It's for sexual perverts. It's not for me. Yeah, Mike says the Army put me off beef for life. Yep. I don't eat sheep. Like eating leather, but I stick to chicken and seafood. Yeah, I do that too. Welcome. Good to see you there, Eudora. It was a fad. I think you're right, Mr. QB. Turkey in South Africa is a fad, but it's not a fad in America. Ooh, not a fad in America. Sheep and lamb is gross. I agree. But South Africans love it. Mincemeat. Ugh, I don't like that either. Woolies is not that pricey. Their fruit and vegetables last longer than a day. Like you, but yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. So the South African news. I don't want to talk about this stuff. It's boring. Yep. All right. I'll just stay away from that. Michael Goodwin offers an op-ed piece in the New York Post. By the way, the New York Post used to show up in the search results for Google News. About 6 months ago, the Google stopped giving links to the New York Post. They hide it. Now, I don't know if that's because the people that get links under news pay for the links, and so they promote it, or they're just censoring a conservative outlet, the oldest paper in New York. But I have to remember to go to the New York Post occasionally because it doesn't show up in any search results when I look for news. When I search for news, it never shows up. In fact, I wonder if it happens if I actually use a title, will that show up on Google, just Google search, not on the news? I'll check Google search. Let's see. So Google search. Okay, it does show up there. Now let me go to Google News and see if it shows up there. But I have a specific title. Let me see. If I put it in Google News, paste. Let's see if it shows up. It does. So you've got to find it, but they don't bring it to your attention. So smoked turkey with wild rice soup. Ooh, that sounds good, Shawnee. Andre Mustard, welcome to you. Ostrich. I've had ostrich. Ostrich is kind of gamey. I know that's a weird saying, but yeah. Corned beef. Yeah, corned beef hash. I used to love that, Alan. I can't eat anymore. Hormel is the big producer of corned beef hash in America. And too many times I cut a can open, cooked the corned beef hash, and then found myself chewing one of those thick rubber bands. I don't know how they get rubber bands in their meat. They're just useless. And so I quit eating any product from Hormel a long time ago. Yep. I'm also very picky. I love peas, sweet peas, but the only ones I can eat are Del Monte. And they have to be Del Monte, not the no salt added. The ones no salt added taste like they're disgusting. I can't eat those, bird's eye frozen green peas that look fake. They taste disgusting. The only peas I can eat are those, and I love them. Big chicken and beef cattle, beef lettuce. Okay. Tom, welcome. Received my second email. Okay. Unique ID number. Cool. Kudu. I've eaten kudu, Mike. I actually liked kudu, which is a shame because I love the creature. It's an incredible creature. But yeah, I used to eat Spam, but it's disgusting too. Rubberized tendered. Yep. How the hell did you survive 37 years in the Army if you basically eat chicken and crabs? Because the MREs don't very often. Thank you, Mad Max, for the super. I'll go to that, check it out in a second for the making the rainfall. 36 and a half years to correct you there, Arctic. Because I didn't get many meals of beef. The Army didn't provide many meals of beef, and I picked around the beef. I used to eat this horrible MREs when they first came out, meals ready to eat, that had the beef, and it was disgusting. And I would pick through it, and I ate all the other stuff. I ate the dehydrated tater tot, but potato patty, and I'd eat the hard as a rock chocolate thing that tastes like I was chewing on a desktop. Yep. No, Loretta, your chat's there. I see it. It's not broken. All right, let me see what he wants me to go check out here. So, go to site. What is this? Senator Ted Cruz. 50,000 Christians in Nigeria have been massacred. 18,000 churches, 2,000 Christians have been destroyed. That's a result of decisions made by sick people in sick places. The United States knows who these people are. CBS News. All CBN News. Ted Cruz. Yeah, I've talked about it. I'm one of the few people who talks about the murders of Christians in northern Nigeria. This is a war on Christians, been going on for a long time. The brown bag nasties when he was in the Marines. Yeah, Dan, gotcha. Yeah, meals ready to eat. But they've come and gone. There's times there was a time they put M&Ms in it, which was a huge thing. You're in the field and you're starving, you want something sweet, and there's M&Ms in there, like you'll kill for that. Turkey diced with gravy. I used to trade Arctic when they first came out. Meals ready to eat. My first ever meal ready to eat in 1983, freezing in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, freezing in the rain. It rained and then it dropped below freezing. It was horrible. Anyway, my first meal ready to eat. Actually, that was the second one. I lied. The first one was in the barracks. We got the meal and we didn't get dinner because we got back late, so they gave us meals ready to eat. And the first one I ever opened up in my bunk, like at 9 o'clock at night. They let us stay up a little bit later. You're supposed to be in bed by 9, lights out, but they let us stay up later because we were getting our meal late because the transport didn't show up in time. And I ripped open that industrial strength freaking plastic bag, which you need the strength of freaking Hercules to rip open. And inside there was turkey diced with gravy. Ate it cold, loved it. Had a dehydrated strawberries in there. I ate them. It was so good. Had the potato patty. It was dehydrated. So good. And it had like a little, chocolatey bar in there. Turkey diced with gravy. And every chance I got, I would trade whatever I got for that turkey diced with gravy. I ate so many turkey diced with gravies. Cuda fat's very bad for the heart. I don't eat Cuda fat. Americans have canned pizza. I've never heard of such a thing, Conrad. What are you talking about? You would have died in South. Yeah, I would have died in the South African Defense Force. Yep. Cornish chicken is specific breed. Yeah, it's a small. They're really tiny. They're like freaking pigeons. Cornish hens are like pigeons. Yeah. So the Ted Cruz thing. Anyway. So yeah. Anyway, back to this. Michael Goodwin in the New York Post says the New York Times should be ashamed of covering up Biden-appointed Jack Smith's spying on Republican senators. It's an op-ed. National Taco Day? I don't know. It might be. Christopher says MRE was delicious when hungry. Yeah. Well, it was a lot better than Reforger, Return of Force to Germany, January 1985, near Gießen in the forest of middle Germany. When some genius repaired the water buffalo for the MKT, that's a mobile kitchen, where it folds up. It's a trailer and it opens up and has these walkways on the outside and the cooking stuff's in the center and the cooks cook your food and you get hot food there. But then they have water buffalo, which has 500 gallons of water that drags behind it. Some genius, because the water buffalo was leaking, put sealant on there, and the sealant they put on there was not the correct sealant. The sealant they put on there was not one you're supposed to put on there for human consumption. So the water that came out of the water buffalo had this tainted flavor from that sealant, and it tainted everything. They used the water to wash all the mermites, the containers that they brought the food in, and they cooked with that water, and everything tasted like freaking, hot plastic. It was disgusting. So for 2 weeks, I refused the food. They would bring us in, mermites were like, take that crap away. All we ate were meals ready to eat. That's all we had. MREs. We would go hungry instead of eating that crap. I don't even know if it was safe to eat that food for consumption. It was disgusting. They're like, oh, no. The medics had looked at it safe. Medics, guys who went to school to become combat medics. They're experts on how safe it is to eat food that's been sealed with electrical sealant. No, I don't think so. Yes, Christians have been slaughtered in Mozambique, and it isn't ISIS. That's a lie. People falsely claim that they're part of Al-Qaeda. They're part of ISIS. They're not. They're ghouls. They're sick, twisted people. So, yeah, no, but yeah, they've been getting murdered there for years. I warned people about that in 2014. No one listened. I also warned people about Somali pirates 3 years before it ever happened. And I warned people about Somali pirates on the coast of Mozambique years before it happened. I told Africa Command. They ignored me. Then when the problem manifested itself, what do we do? Well, you should have listened to Colonel Wyatt 5 years ago, you dingbats. My analysis was spot on. Spot on. Just like I was right about June 29th, 2023, when I predicted there would be an insurrection in KwaZulu-Natal. But they don't listen. They don't listen. Costco sent their hot dogs since 1984. That's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought it's still $1.50, but Arctic was saying it was $3. I don't know about $3 where he got his Costco. Yep, since 1985. Yep. Ghoul is a fun word. Yep. Alan's got to go. Well, I think it's probably time for me to go too, folks, and get some rest. Tomorrow's a long day, or today now. It's Wednesday. I can catch the end of the Avalanche game. I have to make some videos in the morning about the ANC. I'm already making some slides on it about their policy. It's comical. And then I've got my radio show. So the news will be early on Wednesday. We're back to the schedule where it starts at 5:30 South African time, 11:30 Eastern, because I have Ronaldo at 1 o'clock on Wednesdays with the Colonel. Then I have my radio show. So, yeah. Did your interview go? I thought the interview went very well, Conrad. I take it you didn't watch it. Yeah. Oh, you mean my interview? I'm sorry. Yeah, you mean my interview? Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Actually, I can play a little excerpt of it here because I downloaded it. It's theirs, but I don't think they'll mind me showing it. So let me see. Here we go. Let's play a little bit of it here. On that, cousins and so on, were a big deal. And you see immigrants coming to America, Italians and Jews and people from Slavic Europe. They have extended families that they reach and rely on. That's still a common aspect of life in much of Africa.
I don't understand how you pay $3 for a Costco card without a Costco card. You can't get into Costco without a membership card unless you're on a one-day visitor pass. Is that what you're talking about? You're on a one-day visitor pass and you pay $3? Okay.
Africa. I mean, I could point to places in Africa where one person works and supports as many as 30 people because that's the extended family who can't find work or employment of some sort. And there are expectations on those people. And there's negative consequences of that. People who have drive and entrepreneurship and energy to achieve are often held back by their relatives who aren't achieving and don't accomplish things because the expectations on them. In America and in Western Europe, that's less prominent, and the same in Japan and the developed world. And it's becoming less prominent in China. So I would say those are two aspects of Africa that unless you've lived it, you really don't see it up close and personal.
What happened there? It's a long break.
Is out in other ways too. There's expectations if you're the chief that you're
okay. I think that his voice is cut out. It's only my portion that I get. I don't get to hear what he said.
Supposed to reward or enrich your people as a consequence of that, which leads to one of Africa's biggest problems, patronage. Now, let's not pretend that patronage doesn't exist in other societies. I mean, look at Chicago, the Daily family. You know? There's lots of patronage in political systems around the world. But Africa, it's this particularly promiscuous problem for many cultures and many countries that persists to this day. And the one aspect of the post-colonial era that really irritates me is the constant blaming of others. You know, countries in Africa, many of them have been free, independent since the 60s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, aughts, teens, and now the 20s. We're talking almost 70 years for some of these countries. When do you grow up and take responsibility? In fact, some of these countries have now approached or are beyond the period they were colonized by Europeans. They're now longer independent than they were the total period of colonization. So at some point you have to take responsibility. And frighteningly, some of these African countries were bequeathed an immense patrimony of resources, railroads, ports, cities, highways. Now, it wasn't everywhere, but some were. And much of that's been squandered. And for many decades, we constantly hear about aid for Africa. Well, if you look at the amount of aid that's gone into Africa from the developed world, from the global north, minus China, over the past 7 decades, it's astounding how much money and how many things have been built. But none of it's maintained by and large by most Africans. And so it falls apart. You know, Chinua Achebe once wrote a very famous book titled Things Fall Apart. And he's right. I think that was the author. Things fall apart because they're not maintained. It's not a
Yeah, so that was my interview today. It'll be on that channel. I'll let you know when it's up so you can go listen to it. I enjoyed it. Went for about 48 minutes. So, yeah. Bought a commercial version of the Army dog biscuits. Okay. Expired in 2011. Okay. Okay. All right. So, yeah, thanks for asking. I forgot. I was going to have time this afternoon, but I didn't because that interview cropped up, and I gave them my time for that. So, yep. All right, guys. Let's wrap it up here, okay? I'm going to hit the rack. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done it. 728 people viewed this, but only 144 likes. That's just mean. Anyway, thanks, everybody. Have a good night, and we'll see you later in the day because it's already Wednesday. Cheers, and thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed tonight's program and the conversation about the 1980s, which rocked. You take my self-control. Oh, oh, oh. I live among the creatures of the night. Not if I see you first, Shawnee. Cheers. I haven't got the will to fight.